Emotion mind feels, reasonable mind thinks, and wise mind knows. There's a state of mind that DBT describes as a wise mind. It is a middle ground between two other states, the emotion mind and the reasonable mind. Now, the latter might sound like the ideal option, but it is a wise mind that is the ideal state of DBT. First, let's look more into emotion mind. This is where most of us are at when stressed, anxious, or upset. Especially for people with the sensitivity that comes with borderline personality disorder or being a highly sensitive person. You could describe this as your brain being hot. The brain is actually physically different when in emotion mind. There is an almond-shaped center called the amygdala, which controls fear and other emotions. Your amygdala is essential to your ability to feel certain emotions and to perceive them in other people. It sends you information about possible danger in your environment before you're even consciously aware. Your amygdala becomes very active when you should be cautious of something. For instance, if you're being followed at night by a suspect-looking individual and your heart is pounding, your amygdala might look like a wagging dog tail. You can imagine this can be helpful when you really need it, and your amygdala is like a pendulum swinging back and forth. But what happens if this fight or flight instinct has been hijacked and is your normal response to small amounts of stimuli? This is what is occurring in emotion mind, a state of mind where you're overwhelmed with upsetting feelings. You might feel as though you're doing things out of desperation, or as if you have no control over your choices and are just reacting to life. If you need to swiftly jump out of the way of a moving vehicle, chances are your amygdala has done its job. But if you're reacting intensely to everyday situations, it's working against you. In this state of mind, though we can react quickly to danger, often in common situations that don't require such emotion, we may ruin businesses, tarnish relationships, and feel stressed constantly. But the emotion mind is not completely useless. In fact, we all use it now and then and know people who tend to be in this mind. The problem occurs when we stay there. How to recognize if you're in emotion mind. You are very focused on an emotion you're feeling. You can't take your mind off an urge. You feel impatient about what you want to happen. My body is full of strong sensations, pleasant or unpleasant. It is hard to consider alternative behavior. You're pushing aside logic about acting on an emotion. Certain facts are more important than others. Immediate rewards outweigh future rewards or consequences. You don't want to talk about it over with anyone who might disagree. There are changes in your body's temperature. Now let's look at reasonable mind. The reasonable mind is ruled by facts and strict concrete reality. It is a logical state of mind that people use when doing mathematics, cause and effect calculations, reading a map, and various other direct tasks. Values and feelings are not taken into account. It is described as a cool state of mind that we use to deal with empirical facts. So why is it so wrong then to choose wise mind over reasonable mind? What could be wiser after all than being reasonable? Well, it's a matter of under versus overregulated. The goal of emotion regulation is a middle ground, right where you can find the wise mind. Overregulated emotions is reasonable mind, and emotion mind is underregulated emotions. The reason why we don't want to stay in reasonable mind for long is that overregulated or emotions can make us suffer in the long run. It is not only unnatural, but it doesn't feel good. Even to the stoic heroes of society, it's no fun. Just like emotion mind, you might know someone that tends to use reasonable mind. The signs. You tend to push aside your feelings as unimportant. You try to ignore body complaints such as headaches, stomach aches, and backaches. You constantly ignore your gut feelings or intuition. People frequently complain about me being aloof, cold, or rigid. I'm confused about people's display of emotions, even when I'm affected by the same situations. I coolly and rationally keep making the same mistakes over and over, especially in relationships. I often feel clueless when someone I care about is really emotional. I rarely feel strong emotions of any kind other than frustration. I'm lacking in experiences of joy or love and instead feel flat and dry. I'm often in the caregiving role of others while I ignore my own needs. Wise mind. The goal is a little bit of both emotion and reasonable mind. It is a perfect balance of I think and I feel. It is I know. Emotions are not just painful things when they feel negative. They signal to us that we need to solve a problem, move us forward, or serve as a moral compass. They can let us know what or who makes us happy or upset. When we use them wisely in our wise mind, we are calm enough to recognize and describe them and their causes, and decide what we need to do that won't cause us harm or grief down the road. How to recognize if you're in wise mind. You feel clear about decisions, even if they aren't the most appealing, emotionally. You are confident in your choices and actions. Your decisions tend to resolve situations. You have a clear sense of self. Your emotions tend to be even rather than going up and down. You are willing and open to try new things. You can recognize emotional mind and containment. You have a sense of reality and equally a sense of play. Your decisions are usually aligned with your goals. You feel in control of your emotions, decisions, and actions. Urges don't control your life, but you allow yourself freedom once in a while. DBT skills particularly help the amygdala calm down. When we practice things like box breathing, checking the facts, and mindfulness meditation regularly, our brain will start to recognize being calm as a normal state. With a little bit of help and a lot of practice, you're on your way from emotion mind to, you guessed it, wise mind. Hey, we're only on day 2 of the 365 Days of DBT challenge, and you just completed it. Good job! The task today is for you to write down at least 5 times in the next 24 hours when you recognize yourself as being in either reasonable or emotion mind. A related post can be found in the description box if you need to recall them again, or simply rewatch this video. Don't forget to track your progress with the questionnaire on our website. See you in day 3.